idea there. Somebody hinted at this at one of the Twitter feeds just now, actually. The third idea is the impact of pre-test. So here's a pre-test. I'd like you to think about the first names of these two people. So if you could just, I'm pre-testing you what their names are. So I'd like you to actually just make a mental note of their names, please. I think they need some glasses. That would be good, wouldn't it? I think probably that'd be a good thing. Sorry about that. Okay, what are their names? Any suggestions? Shout nice and loud. First names only will do. Any names? Shelley? Jay. I can't hear it all up here. Okay, other names? Ruth and David, thank you very much. Yeah, so Ruth and David, that's a pre-test. You know nothing about the topic at all, or the people. Maybe you might just have known who they were, but most of you wouldn't. Pre-testing works best when the person knows nothing about a topic. And what pre-testing does is helps us to remember in a new way. So this is Helen Wozniak. You got that? Helen. Anyone have Helen? No, okay. So this is Helen Wozniak. Somebody had Helen. A hand went up over the back. Very insightful. Slightly spooky even. But anyway, Helen says this: a pre-test is not only a measurement tool, it alters what we remember and changes how we subsequently organise that knowledge in our minds. It does so in ways that greatly improves performance later. I'll show you how much in a moment. So that's Helen saying that. She's a learning scientist. And this gentleman, Manfred Spitzer. Anyone have Manfred? No, okay. Well, it's worth a try. At least we've got Helen. Manfred says something very similar, working in the same sphere. He says testing is a powerful study technique. Guessing wrongly, which you've all just done, well, apart from Helen over there, but guessing wrongly increases a person's likelihood of nailing that question or a related one later. The act of guessing engages the mind in a different way and in a more demanding way. Look at this number there. Pre-testing is most helpful when you get back to people quickly. So Helen and Manfred, yeah, I'll get back to you quickly with the answer, but it can enhance retention up to 30%. Now that's not like the 90% we were just looking at in incubation, but that's still a massive level of retention benefit, isn't it? If we can get people to remember a 30% increase. So, and iManage, Twitter feed, how do we apply that in learning solutions? How do we apply pre-testing, whether it's face-to-face, whether it's e-learning, whether it's social learning, whatever we're doing? Have some ideas, thoughts, discussion, let's tweet a few things. Setting goals, aims in guise of practical exercises. Ask about the topic before any information is given. That's the idea here. That we could 30% increase people's retention if we pre-test before we give them the information. That's so easy actually to apply in a practical way, isn't it? It could be that, just get people to pretend they're the expert. If we don't know something, we want to learn something, let's pretend we're the expert first and pick up our own ideas and put those down and kind of answer. We can add pre-testing into our learning design. Clearly, we can put it in face-to-face stuff really easily. We can put it in e-learning really easily. And if you start to join some of these things together, so forgetting and incubation and this, you might actually start to feature in, say, an e-learning solution where you've got a bit of pre-test that's a complete distraction from the problem that they've just been thinking about before. So you can start to be quite creative in the way you actually build up the brain's ability to latch onto this, be engaged by it, and ultimately retain it. And then if we couple that with some mechanism that actually feeds over time, a day later, a week later, a month later, 3 months later, 6 months later, people are reminded of that content, we're really starting to put together a powerful package.